I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, can never complain.
Oh my God. Thank you very much for joining my session today. Honestly, wow.
I
Wow.
appreciate the
So,
fact you reached out, like it means
just
a
to
lot.
give you just to give you a glimpse of what my session is about before we get on to the questions.
Yeah.
So, this session is basically to inspire new traders who are currently struggling in the financial markets, just to give them that low hope. Uguti, you know what, guys? If Lesiba can do it, you can do it too. So it's just to empower and to motivate them by sharing your story with them.
No
So I
problem.
just have a few questions because I know that you're very busy and I don't want to waste your time. So the
It's
first
okay.
question I have for you is what inspired you to start trading Forex?
What inspired me to start trading forex? Okay, no, firstly I would say that I appreciate being here, like I did say at the beginning. Like it means a lot, like what you're doing, like inspire, like it's you're helping people be able to get, like, how are these people doing it, how did they do it and stuff. So that's very valuable and stuff. I personally all have to come to your wall every day and check out other traders' story too and stuff. So yeah, I'm touched. But I think what inspired me to start trading was the fact that obviously, like, most of us will start trading because we haven't got money. We broke, things are low and stuff. So that's one of the reasons. And secondly, it's the fact that, like, I've seen people that are younger, that were like my age at the time, doing it. And, like, and like even such things such as, like, being able to see young people reach a specific level of success, like even like maybe at a quicker rate, but not only that, but like just being able to reach a specific number of success in a legit way. Because, like, where we come from, like, things such as like selling weed and all those things were the only way out, you
Yeah.
understand? So yeah, seeing like youngsters reach that level of success in a legit way and just being at home on top of that, like that, for me it was like, wow, I need to learn this thing. Yeah, like I don't have to be out in the streets to make money. Let me learn it. I have to get it. But yeah.
So let me just say that I've been a subscriber to your channel for the longest of times. Way back before you had 100K subscribers, I was
Yeah.
learning a lot from you and other YouTube channels of people who share free knowledge for us. So
Okay.
there was this one video where you said you took 300 Rand to 1 million. Bro, I was just there like, oh wow. So I want to know, Uguti, is it possible? Because a lot of people ask, Uguti,
Or
how much
300, you
money
mean
do I need to start?
the recent video?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
300.
see, I watch.
It's actually 300 to 10 million, but yeah.
Kabang, 10 million from 3
Yeah.
So a lot
Yeah.
of people always ask, Uguti, do you need to have a lot of money in order to start trading the financial markets? Because a lot of people, we know that in South Africa currently, people are losing their jobs, unemployment rates is very high, and a lot of people want to do this thing, but they feel like they need to have a lot of capital to start. So do you think that it's possible for a person who really doesn't have a lot of money to start? And what not necessarily starts at your 75, but did you scalp your way into making that amount?
Okay. So what actually happened is that, like, obviously, like, with needing money, you don't need a lot of capital to start trading. Like you can start with the minimum that broker that you have signed up with actually allows you to fund, like as simple as I think 100 rands. Most brokers will start off with 100 rands. So that's all that you need, like literally being able to start. Because most people think that just because it's trading and people are making so much money, they think that like it's you need so much. Like a lot of things are going on, and like a lot of fundings and a lot of all these things, and it's not always like that. Once you're able to get that first capital that's funded in your account, and you get the real feeling of what it feels like to really trade, like if this thing is really true, does it really mean that if I buy and it goes up, it's going to give me profit? Once you start seeing that and getting the basics of it, then obviously moving forward, you'll need to fund a bit more capital in order of you to reach those greater heights. Né? So like with me, same thing. I started off my very, very, very first trading account was 2017 April, and like I did say, I never traded demos. So it was a thing of, if this thing is working, like how it's working for other people, let me just start and see with actual money. Because if I start with demo and then I practice with demo, what if, like, I invested like 3 months on something that's not working? You understand? So I wanted to see if it's really working for me. So I started with the 300 rands. Obviously, like currently I've flipped it over to like 10 million plus, but it's not like 300 rands to 10 million. Like if that 300 was like the
Yeah.
initial investment that I made that I've put down. And then obviously, like, I think I doubled that account. The next day I lost it all. And then, like, it gave me that, I was able to see, I had that feeling of, okay, wow, this actually does happen. Like, I was able to see myself making this much, and I was able to see myself losing. And losing wasn't because of they manipulated the market or anything. It was because of the fact that, like, I lost. Like, I didn't have enough knowledge to know how to buy or how to sell. Like, even the way I doubled it, I didn't have enough knowledge to know how to buy or sell. I just press. Saw myself playing around with the profits and stuff. But yeah, that's actually it. And then obviously, like, after your initial account, mostly would say that you blow your initial account, but maybe your second, your third, moving forward, you need to start respecting it. You understand? You need to start learning things such as, like, risk management, how you stay longer in the game, even if it doesn't mean doubling your account every single day, but how you stay longer in the game, how you are able to keep that account, and most importantly, how you can still be able to make, like, at least not it's not needed to double your account every month, which it can happen, very simple. But the most important thing is that consistency, like making 20%, 30% a month is what actually gives you that growth that you'll be able to get and maintain in the longer years, in the longer run. Yeah.
That's true, honestly, because risk management is very important. And
Yeah.
I feel like when I started out trading, my biggest problem as a trader was creating a trading style, creating a trading plan that suits my personality, and
Okay.
finding a strategy. Because I realized that whenever I would blow an account, I would quickly change my trading plan, my trading style to something else. I would change my
Yeah.
strategies to something else. I would blow again. I would change it again, blow and change it again, instead of like trying to fix it. So I
Yeah.
want to ask, how does a person go about creating a trading plan for themselves?
Perfect. Okay, I like this question here. It's super amazing because, like, all traders, hopefully people that are watching this live session or this interview are actually like traders. So, but yeah, all traders actually want to benefit from this. So the very first thing that I start off first with when you're coming up with the trading plan is that you need to start looking at your ultimate goal. What is it that you want that plan to help you reach? Like, you understand? So if it's like, like what I had at first, like, my very ultimate goal was like a financial target. I needed to hit this amount of capital, you understand? So what that is going to give you direction of how much do you need to make in a month, how much do you need to make in a week, and what's your daily profit supposed to be. And also one thing that I like about this is that just by having all these things, like, you can be as crazy as you want with the ultimate goal and stuff, because it's not, it's what you want to reach, like, in the next few years and stuff, you understand? So yeah, you start off first with that, and then you put it up there. Then you break it down, like, into monthly goals and stuff, like that ultimate goal. You break it down into how much do you need to make. If let's say it's 10 million in a year, then you'll have to break down how much does it need of you to make every single month to reach that 10 million and stuff. And then obviously, like, weekly and then daily. And the one thing that I like about this is that you start to filter out and look at what strategies can you use. What Firstly, you also have to look at what type of a trader are you. Are you swing trader? Are you day trader? There's a lot of things that can influence that. Like, maybe you are a part-time trader, you're working a 9 to 5, or you've got other businesses that you need to invest into. You can't really focus on trading. You need to come up with factors, like things that are going to allow you to be able to pick that right strategy. Because let's say you are working 9 to 5 and then you want to day trade. It's not going to make sense. Like, when you're catching that 3:30 move, you are in the office, or you're still doing this here. You don't have enough time to be able to be on the charts and stuff. So you have to sit down, observe. Then afterwards, if you've decided that you decide swing trader or day trader, then you implement what are the best strategies for day trading, what are the time frames that you need to look at. You need to look at the market open, market close, what actually influences, like, the market during that time frame. And also something that people don't necessarily like look into is, like, the pip range of that specific currency or index. Like, I can't be a day trader and then look to take profits of, let's say, 300 pips on that single day if the market doesn't even move 300 pips on that single day. You understand? So you have to look at, if you are looking at euro US dollar, how often does it move in a single day? So what is the range of it? Is it 90 pips? Is it 100 pips? Is it 50 pips? So you know that even when you place trades, you'll be able to look at that range. Like, let's say your target will be within that range. If it's 50 pips, your target will be like maybe 30 pips or 20 pips. It's more likely to hit target because it does move in that, like, it does move in that range within a day. You understand? So you look at that, and then obviously you look at, how are you going to play around with risk. So risk is something that's important. It's either you risk, like, value, like, let's say I'm willing to risk 1,000 rands per trade, or it's either you're risking percentage wise, I'm risking 2%, 3% of my account. Obviously, at first, when your account is a bit too small, it's gonna be hard to risk percentage wise, you understand? But you can also stay fixed. Let's say if you've got 1,000 rands and you at 1% on 1,000 rands is literally small, but you wouldn't mind risking 50 rands. So you can start off by that. You'd be like, every trade that I take, I'm gonna risk 50 rands. Then you also play around with the rewards. Like whatever that you risk, the rewards has to be 2 times or greater. You understand? So don't risk 50 rands in order to make another 50 rands. It's not a good strategy. It's gonna need you to win more. And with trading, like winning more isn't always the case. You shouldn't try to win more. You should instead try to make whatever trade that you are in to be a profitable trade. You understand? So yeah, that's how I go down. I make sure that my risk is also into place, and then also what it is that, or how do I look for my how do I look for whatever that I want to enter? And so what influences me to buy and what influences me to sell? So let's say according to me, day trading, I'll look into day trading. 4 hours, I'll look at the momentum, where the price is going for that specific day and all those things, the bigger momentum. And then on the 1 hour, one thing that I'll drop down to is like revealing those patterns to me, pattern confirmations, like what type of a pattern is being printed out. Is it going to break to the upside, to the downside, reversal, continuation, all those things. What are the touches? Is it second touch or the third touch? All those things that matter. And then I drop down also to the 15 minutes. I try to observe also what actually can I get from this. What candlestick is it giving me? 15 minutes for me would be like candlestick confirmation. 15 and also 5 minutes. It's candlestick confirmation. So I look at also how does that candlestick confirm? Has it rejected? Has it was engulfing and all those things? Then I take a signal from there. I enter. So even if I give you my trading plan like this, and you sit down alone and then you observe, you'll be able to see what my mindset, my thought process is before trading, you understand? And also at the end, you top it with some of the rules and disciplines of yourself. Like let's say top 10 rules that you need to stick to. On top of that, let's say on the next page or something else would be what is it that you do when you've got a winning trade? What is it that you do when you've got a losing trade? Things that like disciplinary, things for discipline purposes. So you also, because trading is a business, you have to hold yourself accountable for certain things. If you've made a mistake, you didn't place a trade the way that you're supposed to, you caught it because of fear of missing out, you caught it late, and then it went against your stop loss, then you broke one of your trading rules. You broke some of the disciplines that you gave yourself. So you need to punish yourself in a certain way. It could be do not trade for the next day. It could be stay away from, I don't know, don't watch movies for the whole week. It could be anything, you understand? So that's how I play around with the jam.
Yeah. Because I know, like, recently, well, yesterday, I don't want to lie and sugarcoat anything. Indices are giving me hell.
Yeah.
And I recently lost, well, yesterday, I lost 10K on NASDAQ on its own. And I told myself that if I were to go back into the market now, I will blow my whole entire account. So I'm not going to trade the whole day. I'm going to come back with a different mindset, change my whole analysis and look at it differently. And another thing in the market that I had to deal with, and I know that a lot of people have to deal with it, you see, when you walk into the market and you lose money, and that's when people start to call Forex a scam, right? You lose money, and when you come back again, you see a setup, a very good setup. The market broke your trend line, it's retesting, it's showing you confirmation, but the fear is holding you back because it's psychological. It's holding you back from taking that trade. So I want to know, how does Lesiba deal with fear? How did you deal with fear in the financial markets?
Okay, so I like that beautiful one, because obviously, like, that's true. Like, when you've lost some money on the markets, like, it's hard to re-enter. And like sometimes re-entering would be like revenge trading. You don't know if you're revenge trading or if you understand? So, but at first, I suggest that you should be able to trade with funds that you already have. I understand that a lot of people don't have money, like, it's tough, 1, 2, 3, and all those things. But whatever that you put in the markets, don't put it with that aim of, okay, I'm gonna make a lot from it, and like it's everything. Like, don't use your very last money in order to just fund the trading account if you don't know where the next money is gonna come from there. But the best thing that you can do is obviously to get started. So, how do you rob with fear? Let's say if you lost some money, you lost some capital, you put your last 1,000 or something, you lost some capital and stuff. I think the best thing that you need to do now is start to backtest. So when you backtest, when you are able to see that specific setup or pattern that you're looking for, or candlestick that you're looking for in the markets repeat itself multiple times, then you'd be able to do what, to take maybe screenshots of it. I've got data here of currencies that are done like 3 years ago and all those things, that like you can just screenshot specific data that you're looking for your strategy, and then always just see what the outcome is. Always just see what the outcome is. See what I have it like maybe 100 trades of backtested data. Then after that, you'll be able to see if you are trading something that is actually consistent when it comes to the win rate or not. And then secondly, one thing that you can do is that after you've backtested all that information, one thing that you can do too is, I had it on my mind, but I lost it a bit. But yeah, so once you've got like that backtesting data, it's gonna actually help you be able to know like what you can do moving forward. You understand? And yeah, like it does help out a lot. Like for me, backtesting and also forward testing. Forward testing would be like trading with real life, what's actually happening now and then. It has helped me out a lot because that's when I took a lot of lessons with the experiences of me being a trader. Like with trading, the only thing that I can say is you learn as you trade. Like the more trades you take, the better you become. You understand? You can't learn by watching a lot of YouTube videos, and you can learn even if you have 10K and then you took the 10K one trade, it puts you on 100K. That doesn't mean you learn. You understand? You can't learn by you're not a good trader yet. You have to take a lot of trades. Every trade comes with like a lesson, whether it's a good trade or a negative trade. And as that happens, it shows you that how do you react towards this, you understand? Like how do you react towards like maybe a drawdown? How do you react towards press shot immediately to your take profit? Do you close while it's shooting, or do you wait while it's still going? Do you understand? Like all these things you learn as you go. And the best thing that you can do also to avoid or having that fear is to risk a specific amount of capital that you're comfortable with. So with me, I once had people that ask me, even like top people, that ask me questions like, you've got a big account, because I used to post my account like trading and stuff, and then like on a 150K account, I'll be holding profits of like 5 or 10K, and then I'll be like beautiful trading session, 2 minutes in and out and stuff. Then I'll be like, you've got a big account, why are you, why is it that you are making like why are you so dedicated to respecting your risk and stuff? You understand? And I was like, no, for me it's not. I've came to a point where I don't worry about if the trade makes me a lot of money or not. I worry more about protecting my capital, like preserving my capital, and making sure that in the next year, in 12 months time, when I look at that same account, it actually grew. You understand? So that's one thing that I'm more focused on. So you, in order of you to stay with that, you have to make sure that you don't risk more than what you're comfortable with. If you've got 10K, don't risk more than maybe 500 rands on each and every trade. Then even if you are busy doing your own things, you're cooking there, you're doing your own things, like you're not going to worry about what if the thing shoots up against me, or what if the thing does this, you understand? Because if it shoots against you, you're going to lose only 500 rands, which you're comfortable with. It's not your whole account. You still have a lot of tries to get to you blowing that 10K, you understand?
That's true, because another thing in the market is that we fall in love with our setup. You would see a beautiful setup, and the moment that the setup doesn't go your way, and it's showing you, I'm not going your direction, I'm going the opposite direction, you hold on to those losses like the market is going to change direction and go to your way. Like it's weird how we think, because I've realized that Forex might be just about analysis, technicals, fundamentals, but it's really about how you think as a trader. And another thing in the market that I'm currently struggling with, I don't wanna lie to you guys and be like I'm perfect. I'm not. I'm far from that. And you see, the moment I start making money, 20K, 30K, 40K, I'm killing the market. Hey, I'm confident. I get overconfident. And the moment that I do that, I start to overtrade. I open a bigger lot size that's not even on my trading plan, and I start to blow, right? So how does a person deal with greed in the financial markets?
With greed, so with this one here, like I noticed that with me, let me speak about me, because like let's say if I try to give you practical ways of dealing with greed, it's gonna be a bit more harder to relate it to how I dealt with it. So the best thing that I notice with this is that we get greedy when we are desperate, you understand, or when we don't have money, or like greed is all about you needing to acquire more quicker money, you understand, and all those things. So I think you should rather, like, those first few profits that you make in the markets, like put them aside, you know, like pull them through, put them aside, and like maybe invest into something that's gonna, like, you know, allow you to be able to experience some sort of a income that's gonna let you relax when you're trading. Because, like, to be honest, imagine, let's say you've got a car that you're paying 10K a month, you've got an apartment 10K a month, and you're taking care of family responsibilities onto 10K. That's 30K. So it means that each and every month you need to make sure that you have at least 30K via trading, just so you can take care of that. You understand? So what if, like, let's say today is like what, the 20th of the month, and, like, you know, you need that 30K within 10 days. Now you're gonna start trading what, under pressure, because you have to get the 30K. Otherwise your car is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all those things, which is not the best thing about trading, because trading is actually it's actually for investment purposes. Unlike for, you know, let me trade now, I just ate here, it's spare, my meat is 1,000, let me trade and remake that money. No, it doesn't work like that. Like, it's actually for investment purposes. Like, whatever that you put in, whenever you take out some of that money, it has to be a bit more, or like even in the long term, 5 years down, a year down, and all those things. So dealing with greed, obviously just make sure that you've got some sort of an income that's going on. Take some profits, like whatever that you've made, even 1,000 rands can literally make you profits. Like, I remember back then when I used to try, I tried out a lot of incomes that others required a lot of my time. That's why I had to let them go. Others, like, literally, I would even just put up, like, you know, buy Vura Vorstiniki, put it up the weekends, go to my closest Kasi Park, put the table here, and then, like, you know, Vuravos would be like 100 rands or something, then I'll make hot dog and then I'll sell them, you know, just to have something going on. So I know that even if I don't make the profits that I need, my target via trading, this actually is helping me benefit. Like, I'm able to trade stress-free. So yeah, once you have the stress-free mindset, then that's when there's a lot of doors that are going to open for you. And, like, when it comes to trading too, you're going to notice that you're no longer going to make trades emotionally. You're no longer going to attach your emotions to trading. You understand? You're just going to trade with what you believe is right, instead of how much you actually want to make. So yeah, just focus more on that. Like, you know, release your mind, relax your mind through, and yeah. So having to just use some of that profits to make more profits, or to make an extra income, doesn't have to be a lot or anything, but an extra income is the way to go. Then even if you know that you made a silly mistake, you open a mistake by mistake, you open a trade by mistake, and NFP came at that time, you didn't know, you blew your account. Luckily, you know, you've got that one thing that yeah. So one thing that I always teach is that, guys, we use trading for a vehicle to acquire funds to fund our dreams and stuff. It's not, we don't use it to live off of, like, you know, just that only. Because, like, you know, there'll be times, what if, like, now you go blind? Do you understand? You can say you want to be telling people what candle is there, buy. So, you know, you can't do all that, you know. So yeah, use trading to whatever money profits that you make. If you've made more than what you normally make, instead of going to buy the new Gucci bag or LV or 123, rather, like, take some capital, invest in a business, invest in any. There's a lot of businesses that don't even need money. Like, just invest in that, get that up and rolling. Even if it's giving you 5,000 a month, 3,000 a month, as long as you've got something that's coming in you, then, you know, even if something happens with your trading, next month this money is gonna come. You'll be able to take that money. You'd fund your account again. Yeah,
it's true. But another thing is that, Lesiba, when it comes to brokers, they give you an option to pick your own leverage, right?
Yeah.
So someone is picking, one is to 800 now, one is to ban, and that gives them the opportunity to make a lot more with the little bit that they have. Do you recommend that for new forex traders in the market? Go to Lalel, even if you have 1,000 rand, increase your leverage and make more money, and not understanding the fact that it's going to be very risky.
Yeah.
Do you think they should do that?
Obviously, like, you know, increasing leverage, increasing your profit exponential, like increasing your profits and stuff, it also increases your risk. So one thing that I'll say is that, like, are you comfortable with that? Like, let's say now most people would see, let's say now normally, luckily I don't do that anymore and stuff, but if I happen to do it even moving forward, like, I would fund 10K today in my account, and then I'll play around with it. Like, you know, for me, let's say I'll be like, even if it blows or loses, I lose this money, I don't mind. It's just money that I'm risking. So my goal is to take it to 100K in a week. That's what I'm doing. Maybe for social media purposes, or maybe because I've got a target. Like, maybe I want to do something, I need 100K, and I don't want to use my money 100K. I want to play around with this 10K. So that's, and then, you know, I would grow it, and then 100K, 10K. Then most people would see that 10K floating, 100 equities on 100K and stuff. Then they'll be thinking that, like, you know, that's how the simplicity of it is. And it's not always like that, because what I done is that I took money that I was able to risk. So for me personally, even if I blow that account and then it's back on zero, even if like, leverage is too much insane and everything, and then I blow that account, it's back on zero, I know that I've got like, an additional maybe 10K or an additional 100K that I can still play around with and do the same thing. What about you? Do you have that? Are you going to be able to do those things? So if not, if the 10K is the only thing that you have, no, you shouldn't at all. Like, respect the risk, play around with it. At least maybe once you've made some profits, like maybe 10K, maybe you took it to 20K, you can take maybe, I don't know, 2K to 3K or 5K. Then you can try doing that with it. Like, you can try playing like that with it. If it blows, then you know that this one you respect. So the best thing that a person can do is that, yeah, on one account, maybe if you've got like 5,000 that you want to start trading with, open up 2 different accounts. One can have that insane leverage, that insane leverage, like 1:800 or 1 unlimited. There's even brokers that offer like 1:unlimited. And then the other one, let it be a very beautiful, let it be maybe 1:100 or 1:200 or 1:500 is like the safest and stuff. And then after one thing that you can do is that with this one here, like fund half the amount aside and fund half of the amount aside. This one you're obviously going to be respecting it. You're going to be trading with the risk management, trading plans and everything. Then this one year, maybe you'd be playing around with risk like that. You'd be risking a bit more, maybe 500 per trade and all those things. And then that way, like, whatever that you make, continue to just like put it into this one that you're respecting. And like that way, you're going to, compound, it's going to grow quicker.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this thing that's very common nowadays is, way back when I started trading, honestly, I've never seen anybody who compounds and one barcode. I would never see that, right? But nowadays we see that I've realized that you don't need to over trade. You don't need to be trading USD ZAR. You don't need to be trading USD CAD and maybe 10 pairs at the same time in order to make money. You can literally just pick one pair and make a lot from it. But this thing, man, this barcoding thing that you guys do, you see, a person would see, like a beginner, because I've been a beginner. You see, when I see a person trading, I copy their trades and I lose. And and another thing is that with these barcodes, FOMO, a person would see that, oh my God, the market has already retested, I'm already late, right? Instead of waiting for a pullback or a correction before the market continues its direction, you see a person buying highs. Umuntu usevule a position like 10 trades, buying highs, and only for the market to go back to retest. And once they blow, the market shoots straight up into their direction. So what would you say to a person who's doing that in the market?
Obviously, like, with the same thing, with barcoding and all those things, it's all about like you being able to, because like, let's say now my account would allow me to open 0.10, like at that specific point, like 0.10, you understand? So if it allows me to open 0.10, I decide how do I want to split it. Do I want to open one trade that is 0.10, or do I want to open 2 trades that are 0.05 that I'm going to manage? Maybe I've got TP1, TP2, or maybe I want to open like 10 different positions that are going to be open, and then they're all going to be 0.01s, and then like, my target for 2 of them is here, my target for another 2 is here, and all those things. So with barcoding, it's like, I take it the same as like, it's all about also wanting, like, you personally, how you want to see, like, when you look at your MetaTrader platform, obviously you're trading one pair, you're trading one currency and stuff, and maybe it's boring for you to have just one position running, you understand? You don't want to see just the that's floating on one position. You prefer to see maybe a lot of blues and stuff, you see. So it's like literally it's people's interest. Like, are you interested in seeing the market that way, or are you not interested? And just because like barcoding, you believe that it's ready to be bought here, doesn't mean that you have to go full margin in on it unless you've got the money to do so. Remember, the most important thing as a trader is to respect the risk. If you're not respecting risk, you can make a lot of money. Like, we can respect you for making a lot of money at that time, but longer term, you're not going to be with us, you understand? The next 5 years, how many people do we know that have been successful, that were successful, but till this day, you can't really point out like maybe what they've done, or, where their successes took them, or what impact they've done, and all those things, you understand? So being able to stick with risk, being able to just play around with risk and like respect it, it's going to also teach you the discipline, the patience, everything that you need. And then you want to start seeing that, okay, no, trading is not just about analyzing and, you know, having the right setup and stuff, you're gonna start learning more about, you know, the whole psychology of trading, and then it's gonna open doors for you as a trader. You understand? So yeah, with that, like, you know, like personally, let's say, but I barely do that. Like if you've seen, but if I happen to do it, or if I'll do it, or if I've done it before, it would be just because of the fact that, like, maybe if I go full margin on a trade, it would be, I've got this amount of capital, I don't mind risking it or losing it, because maybe that's just like let's say if every trade on a 100K account, if every trade that I take, I don't mind risking 2,000 rands, then that is the same as me taking 2,000, transferring it to my one account, then taking that one account, it's 2,000, then I go full margin on it. And then someone will be like, you blew your account, but not even that. It's just that that's how much I risk per trade. And here I just wanted to have the whole effect of maybe 2K, I took it to 15K floating. You understand? Like it's literally all about interest and what it is that you're comfortable with. Like with trading, you shouldn't try to see at first, like same with you, at first, like, you know, I entered and I saw a lot of people making it, a lot of this, and I was following a lot of people, and like, you know, that put me in, like, it messed me up a bit, because like, you know, this one is doing this, 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 and you don't even see what the person had to go through in order to maybe have 10K floating. You understand? Like maybe they blew 5 times before. You didn't have to see all of that. So with trading, the best thing that you can do is that trading is a, how can I say, it's a self-awareness type of challenge or type of business. It's a self-awareness type of business. It teaches you about yourself. It teaches you how to grow as an individual and all those things. So like it's very important of you to build your own systems and come up with your own ways and see, yes, what people are doing right and wrong. Don't implement them, but instead learn from them, and then see how what you can take and implement it to your own self. Because at the end, we are all traders. We can all make the same. We can all do all these things. But the most important thing is that, like, you know, your trading is your trading and my trading is my trading. I can't give you my strategy and expect you to be the best. You understand? You might maybe have a much more better win rate than I have, even though it's my strategy. You might have a lesser win rate. You understand? Like it plays around there.
Yes, because I do remember watching one of your videos where you talk about testing your strategy over 100 trades and seeing how it does. So I took a lot from that, because ever since then, every weekend, Lesiba, I make sure, Uti, I backtest my strategy. No games.
Beautiful.
I backtest my strategy to see how it works for me. And another thing in the financial market is indices are killing the game nowadays. I feel like everybody is just sleeping on currency pairs, because one thing I've realized with currency pairs, you need to risk more in order to make more. Whereas with indices, you just need one lot, just 0.01. It will take you wherever you want to go. And a lot of another thing is that people don't understand, but you need to be a consistent trader before you can get into indices. So do you think that if a beginner comes to you and says, hey, Lesiba, I have 10 grand and I would like to start trading indices, would you suggest that they trade indices, or would you say, no, what, start with currency pairs before going into indices? Or is it more like a knowledge type of thing?
I believe it's more like a knowledge type of thing, you understand? Because with us, like let's say with me, I've been trading currencies for like maybe 2 years, 3 years, somewhere around there. And then as soon as I learned with indices, like, you know, maybe the first 6 months that I started trading indices beat all those 2 years, 3 years that I've been trading currencies. But it's not because of the fact that like maybe indices have more money or anything like that. It's because of the fact that maybe I've been already able to accumulate some knowledge on how I see the markets, how I react towards you know, certain market movements and all those volatile movements and stuff. So it's all about knowledge, né? With currencies, yes, it depends on also what your ultimate goal is. Like with currencies, yes, you can still get those, you can still make the same money that maybe indices can give us and stuff, but maybe you have to use more bigger lot sizes, and maybe, you know, that specific currency, it's influenced by news compared to more technicals and stuff. So you have to follow all those things, and all those factors play a part. But with indices, it's all about, like, you know, all those top companies that are within that index, and obviously, like, you know, the pip value of it, because it's simple. Like, you know, the difference between like an index and a currency when it comes to pips and points and all those things is just like 100 points. Like, let's say a thousand pips is 100. It's 100 points on indices. You understand? So 1,000 pips, for you to hold 1,000 pips trading a currency which can take weeks and stuff, you only need 100 points on indices to make, and it's not 100 points is literally not a lot, you understand? But pip value also comes. 1 point is equivalent to 100 pips. You understand? So those two differences also plays a part. Are you willing to put 0.01 and your risk be, let's say, 200 points or 200 pips and all those things? You understand? So it's all about how you see it and stuff. But knowledge is the most important thing, because there's people out there that have found success in trading the stock market and they have never traded the currency. And there's people out there that are successful in trading, like, other indices and other commodities and there's people that are just specializing in gold and stuff that don't even know what's happening with currencies and all those things. And there's traders that are making a success out of killing currencies, and don't even want to entertain indices and all those things. Like, I see people trading a lot of weird things that I never thought were even on the markets, like, types of this, this, and then she'll profit and be excited. I'll be like, how did this person even find this thing? But the fact that, like, always, like, if you're looking for a specific pattern that repeats and you follow specific candlesticks and stuff, and whatever that you're trading gives you that, and also you're comfortable with the pip sizes, like, the pip values and all those things, then you can go forward, definitely. So anyone can start with either currency or index, as long as you've got the knowledge of knowing what you're doing. When you enter indices, know that there's a higher you can risk much more. Let's say it'll be simpler to enter indices on a micro account compared to a standard account. You understand? Yeah.
Yes. Another thing I want to ask you, and I want you to be blunt with me. Do not sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people, I feel like, guys, I'm not bashing you, but I feel like people still have that triple M mentality, thinking that money is just gonna go out of nowhere without you knowing how it's growing, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because when it comes to triple M, lama panoya, I don't know how, people believe in that. They put on their full on trust, and people take loans just to get into these schemes. And once they lose, nobody's calling triple M a scam, but they here calling Forex a scam. So I'm going to go to this topic. I want to talk about robots. Hey, Lesiba, I want to know your take on robots. Do you think that a person who's starting out, it's okay for them to buy robots, even if they don't know what the financial market is?
Robert, so personally, like, I think also one thing that I like is that whatever that I say, why, I'll be giving out there's things that I personally have been through, or that I'm in. Like, I've never bought a robot before, I've never used a robot before. Why is it? Because I personally loved the whole trading challenge. Like, as much as I wanted to make money, as much as I wanted to, do all these things, I loved the challenge of, like, if I can get the skill and then make money. That means every time I can improve my skill, I can make more, and that's my skill. Like, it's my hands. Like, I don't my hands, my mindset, like my assets. I don't need anything more. So with robots, there is disadvantages and all those things. Maybe it has to be updated. Maybe it only works at a specific market condition. Maybe it needs a big account. It's a scalper robot. Maybe, like, all these things that play a part. And I can't really say much about it, like, in terms of if people should go with it or not, because maybe other people are like me. I don't want to learn trading. I'm not interested in trading. I just want someone to do it for me. Like, I have a lot of people that are reaching out to me and they're like, please trade for me, do all those things. And when I tell them that I don't, they get heartbroken and stuff. But if you're the person that is you just want to invest using maybe Forex and stuff, and I don't know how you'd be able to spot if a robot is profitable or not. I think it's best if you do a lot of knowledge about it. Speak with that person that has that robot. Ask them, like, maybe to show you feedback, to give you all the information, because you are now investing in a system that someone else has built. Do you understand? Whereby me trading like this, me manual trading and not using robots, I'm building my own system, and I can coach a lot of people and give them that system, which can help also other people to get that system. You understand? I can, put.
Mm. Network. A question I have for you is, can you hear me? Okay. So another question I have is, do you think that a market, you can't hear me? Goes? Oh my God, I don't know. My mic is on. Namangos. See the devil testing me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? See, the devil is a liar. Can you hear me? The devil is a liar, guys. The devil is a liar. It's a lie. The devil is a liar. But I'll try to get him again. Can you hear me? Okay, so another question I want to ask is market manipulation, Lesiba. The market will trick you to a point where you think that you know what you're doing, but you don't. Right?
Yeah.
So I would take a trade. Everything is perfect. Retest, confirmation, candlestick has proven. And then boom, the market would just spike and just take me out completely. So do you think that market manipulation is a myth? Or do you think maybe it's because of the lack of knowledge?
Obviously, like, the simplest way, like, for you to say that I'm wrong, I've been losing 1, 2, 3, it's very hard. Like, you'd rather say, the market, they manipulated the market because everything was right. And just because I bought the sale, I was going to make a lot of money, they manipulated and stuff. Because remember, what happens is that, like, with manipulation, yeah, you can say that's a valid manipulation if you have two different brokers like this, and then you're seeing, okay, this one here and this one here, there's a spike on this one, but on this one there's no spike. That's like, you can say manipulate. You can even go to the broker and show or do anything to claim back your funds and stuff. Like, that's legit manipulation. But things such as, like, because, like, remember, we're not just, there's retail traders, there's also institutional traders, banks and all those things, hedge funds managers and stuff. So those ones, they, like, obviously maybe they have agreed that they want to buy at a specific price, like at a specific support and stuff. That's why they want to buy it. And obviously they want to buy price when it's a bit more cheaper. So the market is going to shoot a bit more lower. Maybe they'll be having sales and all those things. Maybe the market shoots a bit more lower. And then as soon as they enter whereby maybe you and I would have put our stop losses at stop hunts. That's why things such as, like, stop hunts, we need to learn. We need to learn things such as your fake outs. We need to also learn about, like, those things. So, because, like, that's the whole manipulation myth that people came up with. Like, these banks, these institutional traders being able to buy at the specific point and then boom, shooting the market upwards because they stopped hunt and they took out buyers, they took out sellers, they've done all these things. They played around with, like, retail traders, people that haven't got enough funds to hold that move. They took us out. So yeah, the whole myth of what you just said, manipulation and stuff, it only happens if, like, you're trading with a broker that can manipulate, price. They see that a lot of people bought here, so let's go down, take their stop losses or blow accounts and then go back up, on which that you can easily see if you just have. That's why it's always wise and important to trade with different types of accounts, different types of brokers. Like, it doesn't mean you have to change all the time, but have maybe 3 brokers that you're trading with at that time, So when this happens, you can also refer to the other side and see what's happening that side and refer to the other side, because it's going to be somehow, if the broker is moving price on its own, that's going to be something else, you understand? You'd be trading against the broker instead of trading with the broker. So we don't want that. That's why it's also important to be with the broker that, it doesn't trade against you. With brokers, like, there's a whole lot of, deeper level to it, like, the A book, the B book, and all those things. Like, other brokers, they trade against you. When you buy, they sell, believing that you're going to lose anyways. And then there's other brokers that don't even want that. Like, like how they make money is not even trading against you, it's just off of commissions, you understand? Like whatever trade you place, whether you, they even want you to win, because the more you win, the more you trade with them long term. So they're still gonna make money off of you via commissions long term. So those are the types of brokers that I think you need to be with. Yeah.
Mm. My biggest problem, my biggest problem in the market was fundamentals. I had always told myself that, you know what, Sisanda, you don't need fundamentals. You are a technical trader. It wasn't until all these fundamentals that happen once every Friday when the month is starting, they would blow me and kick me out. And every time I would say, let me make an example. I would be buying gold, right? I'm buying
Yeah.
gold. My setup is approving me of buying
Yeah.
gold. But the moment I get a notification from investing, they tell me that Lalela, gold is going to be dropping 100 pips. Gold is going to be dropping 200 pips. And then I
Yeah.
start to panic, right? I panic and then I close my trade, and gold doesn't do that. Gold continues in my direction before even dropping, as they had
Yeah.
said. So what do you think? Do you think it's important for traders to understand the link between fundamentals and technicals, or do you think that it's okay for you not to know fundamentals in the market?
Obviously, I think it's okay to not know, because even with me, like, till this day, maybe I don't follow fundamentals that much. Only when I feel like it and stuff, because, like, I made sure that, like, it's nice to build a system that doesn't need a lot of factors for you to be able to place a trade. If for you to place a trade, you need to have fundamentals going on, you need to have this going on, it's gonna be tough to place a trade, because that means, what if you've seen the setup but there's no fundamentals? It's gonna be hard for you to trade. Or what if there are fundamentals, but you don't see a setup at all. You understand? So you need to come up with a
Yeah.
system that doesn't allow you to wait for all of these. That's why for me, I decided to just keep it to just technical. And then on top of that, like, you need to remember there's differences between there's what we call analysts, and then there's also what we call traders. So with analyst is someone that anyone, like I see even on social medias and stuff, most of the people on social medias would be seen as analysts, because it's much more simple to point out where the market is going. It's much more simple to point out, like, what's going to happen in the next few years. I'm not few years, few months, or few
Yes.
weeks, or few days and stuff. That's being able to analyze the markets in the right way. But being a trader is being able to make money of that analyst. So find out that, like, those fundamentals that you're seeing, an analyst was, like, just with information they're able to pick up with all data, new data, coming up with also these things that are happening. They're able to spot, they're able to analyze that. I had an uncle that was doing, I forgot, like, it was like something that has to do with market research, analyst, and all those things. Then one day I was trading, and then he was talking to me about how the economy is gonna go like this, and everything's gonna do this, is gonna be affected, this is gonna be affected, and he knew so much, and I didn't feel like I'm a trader at the time. Like, he made me feel like I'm not a trader, because, like, he knew so much about what's going on and stuff. But one thing that I said to him, I was like, no, I noticed something. The difference between you and I is that you are an analyst, you know about all these things, but I'm a trader. I don't know about these things, but I make money off of what's gonna happen at the end. You understand? You know, but you don't make money
Yeah.
off these things that you're talking about. I don't know about 1, 2, 3, President 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know much about that, but trust me, when the month is done, I'm gonna make money from the markets. They say I'm gonna make money because, like, technical 1, 2, 3, understand? So yeah, you just have to. It's all about how you see it. It's all about how you perceive the markets. But most importantly, the best thing that I'll say is that build a system that doesn't need a lot of things that's gonna require you to trade before you enter. Because otherwise, you won't have a trade frequency. I mean, your trade frequency is gonna be less. Like, you can have the best strategy, but what happens if that strategy you use maybe 4 hours to enter, and you only get one setup a month? It's not too good, you understand, compared to a strategy that doesn't have that much of a win rate, but that one strategy, it allows you to enter maybe twice in the markets a day. So you don't have, like, a better win rate, like maybe it's above, like, 50%, which is perfect. As long as it's about 50%, then you are able to get multiple opportunities in the markets, then that's the perfect thing to do.
Another thing I want to ask Mr. Mothupi is I had a very difficult time transitioning from being a scalper, being consistently in the market, and being a swing trader, right?
Yeah.
So when I swing, I would have a problem. We would see, oh my God, it's retesting. I should have closed. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's doing this. I should have closed. And I would always constantly panic because I wasn't used to holding my trades for a week, I wasn't
Oh,
used to holding my trades for 4 days, and
yeah.
it would be such a challenge for me. And when I finally closed my trade, like prematurely, then the market shows me, la, 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 I was going into your direction. You're just very impatient with me.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to realize, you know what, Sisanda, you are not scalping in this
Yeah.
trade. You
Yeah.
are swinging. But with this trade, you are scalping. And that was very, very difficult for me. So to a person who's trying to transition from being a swing trader to a scalper, or from being a scalper to an investor who holds their trades for a month, what advice would you give to them? Like, what are you supposed to do? Am I supposed to look at the charts? Am I supposed to get away from the charts? What am I supposed to do as a person who's transitioning?
Okay, so transitioning, obviously, let's say from day trading to swing trading, like I did say on the previous one, like you need to start looking at the trade frequency, like how many times does that setup come on, like how many times does that setup show itself, you understand? So find out that maybe on day trading you're able to place maybe 2-3 opportunities of trades, but now since you're going to be entering on a 1 hour chart or the 4 hour chart, you're only going to see the setup after a while, you understand? So you need to build a system whereby, but obviously first understand how many times does it show itself, how many opportunities are you going to be able to get via backtesting. You'll be able to get that, né? And then once you get that, then maybe twice or 3 times a week you get an opportunity. Then obviously now you need to start also do what, you improve your system. You come up with ways of, okay, now I was able to see that, yeah, this trade comes 2-3 times a month, but how do I manage this? Like, in day trading, maybe you had to sit on the laptop the whole time, or maybe you had to every 5 minutes come back and see. But now you have to come up with maybe each and every 4 hour candlestick close. I have to come back and see how the candlestick closed, if it's ready for me to move stop losses and all those things. Or maybe each and every 1 hour, I have to just look at the candle close of that 1 hour and then be able to know what I should do, like what decision should I make, understand? So you need to come up with these things, like look at the trade frequency, how many times you get that opportunity that's showing itself in the markets. Are you going to be able to cope with that frequency? Secondly, you need to also move to what I did say now. After the frequency, what is it that I said? What is it that I said?
Trading frequently. You have to trade frequently.
And what? And what?
Lesiba, no. No.
I'm
There are a
asking,
lot of
no.
things that going through them.
No, I'm asking.
There are a lot of things going through my mind. I have questions that I have to ask.
Okay, cool. It's manageable. You mustn't think about the next question and stuff, but okay, no problem. Like management, like being able to manage like your trade. Are you gonna be comfortable to come back to the markets? Everyone, like let's say people that are trading with the daily time frame, obviously you can be looking at 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, what it's doing. You have to look at the daily time frame on what it's doing, you understand?
Yeah.
So each and every day you have to come back after a day, then you look. So you have to prepare like maybe in the morning from 8 to 9, that's when you're going to be dedicating, like, to see the previous candlestick close and all those things. So, yeah, management and trade frequency is actually what matters most.
Yeah, it's true, though. It's true. So, in closing, Mr. Lesiba, as I said, a lot of people are struggling in the financial markets. Some people can't even afford to pay for a mentor and for them to fund their account at the same time. So to a person who's a solo trader, I'm a solo trader, and I've heard a lot of people say that if you're a solo trader, you can never make money in the financial markets. You need to have a group of people that you are trading with in order to make money in the financial market. And I always like to disagree, because I've made a lot of money in the financial market by myself. I've blown a lot of money by myself in the financial market.
Beautiful.
And I feel like it's the same thing. If you're a group, you can also lose money. If you're by yourself, you can also lose money. So to a person who's been in the market for a year and they're not seeing profits, they're constantly blowing. And to a person who's been in the market and they still premature, they don't know how to place trades, hold trades, the type of trading style that they use. What advice or words of encouragement would you give them?
Okay, so can you please just give me that question in a much more detailed way?
What words of advice would you give to a person who's just starting out in the financial markets?
Oh, just starting out in the financial markets. Okay, perfect. So, with that on there, obviously, most people would be like, maybe you need a mentor, or maybe others would be like, you don't need a mentor, and all those things. And both sides are like, true, because like at first now I didn't have a mentor at all. Like, I had to figure out certain things on my own. Mentor would just be you wanting to speed up the process or the learning curve, and I said like getting some of the systems or the steps like, simplified or quicker way, like, or wanting to know what it is that, like, maybe after learning candlestick, you don't know how, like, learning and stuff, you don't know what to learn at first. So let's say you want to learn trend lines, and then after trend lines you're learning support resistance. You want to know what else to go to after learning support or mastered support and resistance. Obviously candlesticks, and obviously characteristics of that specific index or currency trading, all those, you haven't got that. So that's what we use mentors for, in order to just speed up that whole learning curve and stuff. But the best thing also being that it doesn't mean that you need that mentor in order to make it. You don't need it, because at the same time you can still become a success like trading without a mentor. Obviously it can take longer. Obviously, you're gonna experience like, a lot of like, challenges here and there. Obviously you're gonna also get growth that you're gonna be excited with, but that one is a bit challenging in a way also, because of there's like, you are your only, like, let's say it's tough to be able to spot out like, the people that are within you, the people that are within your circle, people that are in your community, what's the growth, what's your progress and stuff. So what I done at first, yes, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't pay for anything, I didn't have money to at first. So what I had to do is that I joined like free communities, like, there's free Telegram groups, free this, but I just joined one specific person that I actually liked, and I like, I wouldn't mind following. And in that community, like, there were also other traders that were in there, good traders, not good traders, that you'd also be able to see that, okay, I was thinking that I'm the best, but there's actually, when I met certain people, like even till this day, when I'm sitting down, like, let's say, likes of like Ref, you'd be talking about something, they'll be like, hey, you're making me feel like I'm not a trader. And before, I'd speak with them and stuff, I didn't think of all those things, and I was thinking that I've got the knowledge down and stuff. But just by hearing him say, this and this and this and that and that, like, I'm learning new terms, new words, and then I'm searching about it and then I'm checking and stuff. So a community actually helps you learn faster, because like, it's almost like, when you're doing anything that you're doing, when you have a community, you are able to learn faster. Like, for you can't really say that I'm the best unless you are in a room and then you become the best in that room. Then obviously you have to go out and get another room whereby you're gonna be maybe you're gonna fit in, you're gonna be the lowest, and then you have to become the best, and so on and so on and so on. And it's gonna be tough if you are alone and you're trying to track all that progress by yourself. You understand? So, but from my side, like, the best thing that I'll do, that I can say, is that obviously just play around with being in a community, being around with people that are like, like-minded as you being around with, because at the end still, trading, like, it's something that our family members, parents, everyone close to us make us seem like it's not working or it's a scam. Even me till this day, I've got people that are like, super, like, close to me, that will be like, that still won't believe, what's happening with this whole trading world and stuff. And people think that everyone that's close to me understand that they've mastered trading. There's still people that are ignorant until this day. I don't know, maybe they want us to jump out of Rolls Royces and stuff for them to believe, maybe that's what it takes and stuff. But you have to be a part of a community and then learn from those people. And then one thing that I like about being with the community is that you are around people that are same-minded as you, understand? Like, let's say now, you and I having this. And how many people, if you go to school now, varsity or anything, and you start having this conversation with someone, no one is going to click with you. They want to be like, no, we are focused on this. You disturbing us to go with your trading and stuff. But because of now being able to be with people that are into trading, that are in the world, then you are able to know that, okay, no, you are not the only one. There are also other traders out there that are doing it. And then, there's things such as motivation, like they'll motivate you. There'll be one that will be, there'll just be all these things that you actually needed. Because, like, it's tough. Like, when I started, like, my dad would always tell me, hey, no, this, all these negative things that I didn't need to hear and stuff. And obviously that, even if I blocked him out, I blocked it 1, 2, 3, it played a part. Like, when I take a loss, I'll be like, maybe he's right. Like, this thing, it's going to take a lot of my, like, it's going to mess up my future, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, understand? And we don't need that. In trading, we need to be in a community whereby when you lost, like, even till this day, when I lost, let's say if I take a trade, I lose, I post it in the team and stuff. Instead of me beating myself, I would even have my students at this time be like, oh no, it's okay. You know, luckily this gone to 3. I swear we'll kill the markets just like yesterday. You know, they'll give that, yeah, that positive feedback that you need. So that's one thing that I like about it. Like just being in a community, and you don't really have to pay for them. There's a lot of free communities, and yeah, obviously there's other ones that you have to pay, obviously, and it's all about like what it is that you prefer.
That's true. But before I leave, Mr. Lesiba, I know that you're very young. I'm young. I'm 20 something. You are 20 something. And, you know, I want to, before I close, because I have a different way of closing, I want to
Yeah,
ask, right?
yeah.
SARS, does SARS charge like individuals for making money? Let's just say I make 1 million today and I withdraw it, and it gets sent to my bank account.
Yeah.
Will SARS freeze my account and tell me that I need to pay, or does SARS target people who have businesses? So do Forex traders pay taxes?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like any source of income that you are making, like you should understand that like there's money that has to be taxed. As long as it's like especially even money, because first of all you have to declare that where does that money come from. Let's say I'm withdrawing from my FX Pro account. I have to declare where that money comes from and where do I have to withdraw. Where do I have to declare by SARS? Because if I don't declare with them, then it's gonna be as if I'm doing money laundering and all these things. You understand?
Yes.
So yes,
Yeah.
SARS does play a bit with it. Like it does take a cut. I remember, for me, actually, what I've done is that I've got an accountant along, like, maybe 2 years in trading. That's when, like, I got an accountant. Then I had to do, like, previous statements of how much I withdrew back then, like, all those things. Then, like, that's when I found out that, I actually have a lot that I need to pay to SARS in order to just catch up and be where I'm at, like, at the to be not backwards with them, you understand? So the best thing that I'm gonna say now for someone watching this video here, this is one thing that I wish I learned long time ago, years ago, when I still started out, is that open up a business account. If you are like this is Sisanda, open up Sisanda headquarters, or I don't know, Sisanda traders, something like that. Open it up, register it, and then because what happens is that individual there's different types of tax brackets. That's what my accountant. Now I sound like I'm someone that knows about this, but I don't really know because he always sees these things. There's individual and then there's also business. Individual gets taxed this amount of percentage, and it like the more you make, the more it increases. You understand? Let's say someone that's making
Yeah.
100,000 is not gonna get taxed the same as someone that's making 1 million. Let's say that one is getting taxed 18%, that one is getting taxed 25%. But with business, it's a fixed rate. So any amount that comes in your account, whether it's 100 million or whether it's 1 million or whether it's 10,000, any account gets taxed one specific. And the last time that I checked, it was like 28%, somewhere around there. So open a business account and then let every money that you're making, your withdrawals, everything that you're making, jump into your business account. Then you can pay yourself a small cut or a salary from that. So luckily when they text, they only text you. They can't text you twice. They can't text you from your business to your personal, you understand? So yeah, that's how you should drop it. Open a business account, entity, incorporation, PTY, LTD, have it there up and running. Put when you withdraw your money and stuff, let it go to your account, so it's a fixed tax rate, and then afterwards you can pay yourself a salary from that.
Anyway, Mr. Lesiba, I want to thank you for joining my session today. Honestly, when I sent you a DM last month, it was last month, and you told me that I have to consult your PA. Yo, I was just there like, you know what, maybe I'm not gonna get the session. Then I see beautiful girls dancing there. I'm just there like, is there a PA somewhere here dancing? Because I'm waiting for a session with Mr. Lesiba. And I was just there like, you know what, send that message again. And
Yeah.
with God's grace, wow, with God's grace, you responded to my text. You are genuine, and honestly, everything you have done for me and for the FX community, it truly means a lot. And I would like to say to the people that I'm not a mentor. I'm doing these sessions for you to find legit mentors, because people get scammed. I was scammed. So people get scammed, people lose their money, and I'm trying to make people understand, Uguti, Lalel, find a person who's legit, find a person who is reliable for you to, help you. And my page is where you can find those people. It's easy,
Nice.
it's accessible. You can send them a DM, you can call them, you can do anything. And it's truly amazing that you are able to join me today. And I can't thank you enough. And since I can't shake your hand, I can't do it. We're going to do it virtually. We're gonna do it virtually. Before I close, I'm gonna count to 3, and we're gonna do a fist pump, and then I'll close.
Okay.
And then I'll close. So I just want to say goodbye in advance, because once we are done with the fist pump, I'll close the video, right?
Yeah.
So
also also
3,
on my side, before
okay.
Okay, it's now 20 minutes before our 3:30 session, so we have to jump in the markets. So luckily we didn't get to it, but what you're doing is super powerful. I appreciate what you're doing. It's luckily one thing that I like is that the way that you're using social media is to impact and inspire other people, which is super powerful. And that is why maybe like how you're saying, God was able to connect us 1, 2, 3. Because if you're using social media to flex and break to other people, then you're making someone that's sleeping in a shack feel bad of themselves and feel like it's hard to be there. But if you're like, no man, you're in a shack. I used to be in a shack 5 years ago. Now I'm in this position, and you can just by do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you interview certain people that have been in the same situation. That person is easily starting to believe that it's possible of me. So what you're doing, I highly respect, salute. Continue doing this here, and can count.
3, 2, 1. Pump it up. Goodbye.
Bye.